that song.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1376. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway, located somewhere in Podcastro Valleymont. Today, Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer will be stopping by, and we will bring you the segment called the Wow That's Wild Files. You know what's wild? Is I came into work today, and apparently the pen rapture had happened, because every single pen has disappeared.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I wonder who did that, huh? I know someone who would know, Haley, who sometimes listens to the show.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
But Haley doesn't listen anymore, and that's kind of sad. It has to do with Google Play, and how it doesn't run very good. It's very bad. Even though they did an update, they're trying to change things around. But I don't hate Google. I hate the
Mike's Daily Podcast.
The fact that I have to delete so many things off my phone in order for anything to update. It's great.
Mike's
These are little
Daily
first world problems.
Podcast.
Technical problems.
Yeah!
I used to have issues with my iPhone updating, and it'd be not enough room. And that would just be... So I was told yesterday, speaking of tech smartphone type things, that I look like an emoji. I look like the one with the sunglasses. When I put sunglasses on and I'm smiling, people go, "Hey, you look like the smiling emoji with the sunglasses." And then they laugh and laugh. Look who just walked in. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Where are all the pens? Where's all depends? No, where are all the pens? The pens, yes. The pens are gone, Chely. There's been the pen rapture. It was foretold in the Bible, under the book of Bic. Pen. Look who else walked in. Hello, Mike. This is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere the engineer. I think people need to remember that pencils are important too. Oh, I hate pencils, John Deere. Pencils. I always have one right behind my ear. Wait, where'd it go? The pencil behind your ear is gone. Wow. Did you ever have a teacher that used to scrape their ear with the pencil? Like, they're dead now. They were giving themselves lead poisoning. Not the best. I don't like pencils because you got to sharpen them.
And here's today's podcast picture.
More first world problems. No, really. There is no pencil sharpener anywhere in my work. Anywhere. So what's the point of even having pencils? I don't get it. These are things that concern me. The podcast picture today is a wonderful picture of artichoke. Artichokes are so good for you. They are full of amino acids. I don't know what they're full of. Vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals is what they're full of. But, you know, they bloom, and there's this purple bloom that they do, and it's so otherworldly. It's such an alien plant, yet so delicious, with a little garlic butter. Or perhaps you like mayo. Or maybe just olive oil. Whatever you dip your... There is a fat connection to artichokes. You need to enjoy them with some kind of fat implementation to it. And so the healthcare, which doesn't cover any of this, the new health bill that the Senate was trying to pass, that's done. That's not going to happen. Because Ted Cruz and Rand Paul are like, no, the government can't fund any of it. No government implications, implementations, no government connections to healthcare at all. We don't want it. And there's so many Republicans that are like, no, there's 22 million people that are going to lose the health insurance. 15 million right off the bat by next year had the bill been passed. So they got to do that according to the CDC. So there's this blooming artichoke. Not to be confused with a blooming onion, which is so not good for you at Outback. No rules, just right. Which I never understood that slogan, but that's the podcast picture is an artichoke. You can enjoy artichoke hearts and some. I've actually never cooked the artichoke hearts, but I do just steam them. Now, I'm told baking an artichoke is better. It tastes better, and you don't have to deal with all the steaming of the artichoke, which can take forever. Baking is better. I'll try it, and I will get back to you about it. But I love artichokes. And why they're named after someone choking? Maybe somebody was a guy named Artie was trying to eat one without, paying mind to the fact that there's these little spikes at the end of the leaves, and he choked himself. That's sad. But it could have happened. Who knows? And finally, I would like to get more into this in another show, but I talked to Katie, and Katie told... In fact, I should probably record Katie telling the story. It was amazing. She's just back from a trip to Baltimore, and then she went to New York. But what was most interesting, aside from the fact that she saw Michael Keaton in a restaurant, walk in and out of a restaurant that she was at, was she was talking about getting out of New York. And getting out, I guess, is the defining term, the defining word, because, well, it was Gay Pride Day. And there's that whole word out has to do with that in some way, but she couldn't get out of New York. Everywhere she was trying to go, there was the parade happening, and she kept getting detoured the wrong way, every single way away from the airport. And she missed her flight. Well, she knew she was going to miss her flight, so she called them up, and they told her, oh, it's going to be $400 to change your flight. And she goes, can you do anything? This was not my fault. This is just, can you waive the fee? And they said, yeah, we'll waive the fee. All you have to do is ask, apparently. They waived her fee. This was JetBlue. And so she and I had a conversation about how you just need to ask for certain things. Like if you're fed up with your cable bill and you want to cancel, or you don't like, you just say cancel. In fact, I called up Comcast on Friday because I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on, why it suddenly jumped up $15. And they put me through to someone, and they said, oh, yeah, we'll leave it the way it was. And they said to me, Mike, all you got to do is call up and say, cancel everything, shut it down. That's all you have to do. And I go, oh, okay, I'll remember that. And I wrote it down, shut it down, right? And they said, yeah, just shut it. And I said, okay, shut it. And that's what I'll do in the future, in trying to keep my cable bill. And other things, too. Katie brought up, hey, because I'm trying to figure out if I want to fly Southwest or not, and I was comparing Southwest to Delta, and I see that Delta's got a better deal. She goes, call up Southwest and tell them they're not going to get your business because you don't like them anymore because they're charging too much. And they took away my points, just like Virgin did. Delta let me keep my points. She says, bring all that up to Southwest. They'll give you a better deal. So I think the squeaky wheel and all that, and the artichokes, and things like this we need to remember. But there's way more about stuff that Katie was talking about that I'd love to get into and bring up in future shows. And also the fact that Instagram wants me to invite specific Facebook friends now. Like they'll show my friend Carrie and say, hey, do you want to invite her to Instagram? She's not on Instagram yet. And I say, first off, it took forever for Carrie to get on Facebook. By the way, Facebook now has 2 billion users. Wouldn't you like to be that 2 billionth user that just decided to sign up to Facebook? What? There's this new thing called Facebook? Huh? No, I'm not going to sign up. And then like 10 years later, all right, I'll sign up. Bing, you're the 2 billionth person. You just crawled out from under a rock. Welcome to Facebook. And so Carrie finally signed up to Facebook. She wasn't the 2 billionth user to sign up, but she, I know, was very resistant to getting on Facebook. All of her friends are thankful that she got on Facebook because we get to see what's going on with her. And then she also, although a friend of mine, another friend, I have a couple friends. This other friend of mine got off of Facebook, which you can't do because they keep your account active. And then they'll remind you over and over again. It's very annoying. There's a lawsuit waiting to happen here about how they annoy you with the fact that you just can't cancel with Facebook. But she got off of Facebook because she hated the Facebook friends, the whole concept of Facebook friends, because they aren't really your friends. And if they were really your friends, they'd pick up the phone and call you. That's all it takes, is to pick up the phone and call. Whereas back in the old days, you weren't really a friend if you picked up a phone and called. That's not really a friend. You have to show up at their house. You have to go out and have dinner with them. You have to be there physically in person. But that's how removed we have gotten in our world. So the point being, I'm not going to tell Carrie to join Instagram, and I'm not going to do Instagram's work for them. If Instagram wants to pay me a very high salary, I'll recruit all my friends. That's all it takes. That's how quickly I'll turn. But that's how I feel about Facebook friends. That being said, become my Facebook friend. Go to MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com / well, go to the Facebook page I have for the podcast. It's just facebook.com / MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST. And all the links to all the social media I'm on, and all the ways you can help out the show, like if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, click on the Amazon link at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com and buy whatever it is you're going to buy, and that helps us out. There's also a PayPal if you'd like to help us out that way, and you'll become an inglorious Mike's Daily Podcaster, and you'll get a personalized MP3 for thee from all the Cafe Anyway characters, even the ones digging earwax out of their ears using a pencil. Oh my gosh, I didn't have this. Hold on. There we go. Mike, I'm not giving myself lead poisoning. Are you okay? I just felt a little dizzy for a second. It'll pass. Oh, he just passed out. Well, you know what? Let's get to the segment called
The Wow, That's Wild Files.
All right, made it through.
Lots of news stories to get to. I will zip through them as quickly as possible, but these are the files that are going to make you go, wow, that's wild. And one of them is that the former Alaskan governor, and a woman I still find very attractive, even though she's wacky and crazy and nutty, but it's the glasses. I have this thing about glasses. Sarah Palin, she has filed a lawsuit against the New York Times over an editorial that tied her to the January 2011 shooting of an Arizona congresswoman. Palin's attorneys claim that the paper defamed her in the June 14th editorial, published hours after House Majority Whip Steve Scalise was shot and wounded while practicing with the GOP's baseball team in Alexandria, Virginia. The editorial, attributed the Times editorial board, entitled America's Lethal Politics, initially linked Palin's rhetoric to the shooting that killed 6 people and wounded 13 others, including then Representative Gabrielle Giffords. The paper posted a correction the next day, admitting that no link was established, but the damage was done. San Luis Obispo is a wonderful little town north of Ventura. I used to live in Ventura, north of Santa Barbara. I think from Santa Barbara to San Luis Obispo it takes about 2 hours to get between the two. But Johnny Galecki, who has ties to San Luis Obispo, and of course is on the show The Big Bang Theory, and he was also on Roseanne back in the day. His ranch was ravaged by a large fire. It burned down, and his home burned down on Monday. His ranch, which is located in San Luis Obispo, was burned to the ground in a fire that is threatening other homes as well. The Hill Fire is what it's called, is estimated to be around 1,500 acres in size. The two fires were initially reported in the area, but later merged into one as the state's fire season has been ramping up. And actually on Monday, when I was walking Basel, and I was driving over to the Fairmont Ridge area, there was a house on fire. And that's not connected in any way to the other, just that the fire season's happening. And it was a windy day, and all of a sudden this thing was just black smoke everywhere. Now, another famous celebrity, Alec Baldwin, after previously saying he wouldn't keep portraying Donald Trump for much longer, he has now declared he will be back as Donald Trump for season 43 of Saturday Night Live. Yeah, we're going to fit that in, he said. I think people have enjoyed it. Baldwin's other commitments will mean a little less of his Trump impersonation, with fans getting a couple celery sticks instead of a whole meal. Celery sticks. That's what the actors have to eat all the time in order to stay slim, crazy, unnormal slim for their television roles. Pandora, meanwhile, which I did a report on when I took a community college class in business in 2011. Pandora, the online radio service that sold a stake in itself to SiriusXM Holdings earlier this month, has said that their founder, Tim Westergren, is going to step down as chief executive officer, the man that came up with the concept of, hey, you just enter in the song you like or an artist you like, and we'll make a whole station out of it. Of course, they'll throw a bunch of songs in there that you can't stand, but Chief Financial Officer Naveen Chopra, oh my gosh, by the way, when I used to have Pandora, I don't know what, it always played Worlds Apart Separate Ways by Journey over and over again. I don't know what it was thinking, why it thought I liked that song so much, I don't know. But so Naveen Chopra has been taking over as the interim CEO while the board begins a search for a permanent replacement. They're right there in Oakland, right there near the downtown where all the stuff is going on, near the Fox Theater and all that. It also named Jason Hershon to its board to fill a recently vacated seat. Over the past several weeks, the board has taken a number of steps to refocus and reinforce Pandora. As listeners continue to move from traditional terrestrial radio to more dynamic and flexible offerings, it is the board's belief that the transition continues to present a massive opportunity and that Pandora is an ideal position to capture an increasing share of this audience. I will never, ever, ever listen to Pandora again on a computer. I'll listen maybe on my phone, but I don't even have the app on my phone anymore. I took that off. I just not impressed. And if you try and listen to it with your computer, there's so many ads. They really try and push you to subscribe and pay the fee, the monthly fee. Facebook hit 2 billion monthly users, and it has solidified the company's position as the largest, most influential social network in the world. Mark Zuckerberg announced Tuesday, as of this morning, the Facebook community is now officially 2 billion. We're making progress connecting the world, and now let's bring the world closer together. This comes a few days after their first ever community summit in Chicago, where Mark unveiled a host of new tools to make it easier for admins of massive Facebook groups to grow and curate their communities. Boring. I'm sorry. As exciting as that might be for Mark, that is so uninteresting to me. And Mark Zuckerberg just bores the crap out of me. He's such a brilliant kid, but jeez. His curly hair is boring. His hoodie he walks around in all the time is boring. But he's taking over the world. Soon he'll be my president. A major global cyber attack disrupted computers at Russia's biggest oil company, as well as Ukrainian banks and multinational firms. And it's a virus similar to the ransomware that infected more than 300,000 computers last month. The rapidly spreading cyber extortion campaign, which began on Tuesday, underscored growing concerns that businesses have failed to secure their networks from increasingly aggressive hackers who have shown they are capable of shutting down critical infrastructure and crippling corporate and government networks. The ransomware virus includes code known as Eternal Blue, which cybersecurity experts widely believe was stolen from the U.S. National Security Agency and was also used in last month's ransomware attack named WannaCry. The virus crippled computers running Microsoft Windows by encrypting hard drives and overwriting files, then demanding $300 in Bitcoin payments to restore access. More than 30 victims paid the Bitcoin account associated with the attack. Now, here's the interesting thing, though, and I heard this on a podcast on my way in, is that people that paid the Bitcoin money then were supposed to email this email to say that they had done it and confirm it. Well, the server, the company that owns the server of that email service, they closed that email account. So there was no way to tell the kidnappers or the hackers or the criminals, basically, is what they are. We just so sugarcoat it all with hackers. Oh, they're just hackers. They're hacking around. They're playing with their hacky sacks. No, they're criminals. They're jerks. Since the election, scores of activists have taken to the streets, town halls, and rallies to blast Trump, all with the blessing of their boss. This, according, of course, to Fox News. They get paid time off work policies at San Francisco's marketing firm Traction, is what I'm trying to say. Social justice benefits take the form of the so-called days of action. They can take part in a protest. They can volunteer for a cause that is meaningful to them. Oh, well, that doesn't mean they have to do... Traction's new policy is neutral, so long as it's not a group that promotes violence such as Ku Klux Klan. His 50 employees can support whatever political group or cause they want. They must first get approval from management and submit a request for time off. Interesting. Not my company. Oh, but in the famously left-leaning Bay Area, conservative activists don't buy it. They want basically a harder left turn than we are seeing now, said Howard Epstein, who's with the San Francisco Republican Party. And finally, speaking of, well, this is kind of a liberal-leaning thought, but it's very interesting how The Handmaid's Tale has officially entered the national healthcare debate. The Hulu drama, as well as the multi-selling book, I should say. Dozens of people wearing the grim getup walked 2 by 2 outside the U.S. Capitol yesterday as senators battle over GOP lawmakers' proposed health care bill. I'm dropping articles left and right today, but that's a fine article.
A fine article.
You silly, great, fat article.
Hey kids, it's me. Don't read me the clown.
The group consisted of 30 Planned Parent volunteers who were staging a protest of the health care bill. It wasn't the first time that the show, based on a feminist novel by Margaret Atwood, is what they say here, USA Today, was drawn into the political fray. The show's first trailer sparked a political discussion over whether it was a predictor of Trumpian dystopia,
which is a very good thing. Which is a very, very good thing.
Or anti-Trump propaganda. Earlier this year, the demonstrators, dressed in handmaids red and white, protested abortion bills in Texas and Ohio. The show features a society in which enslaved women are sorted into wives, housekeepers, and breeders known as handmaids. The handmaids wear the cloak and bonnet. The group seems to be using the show as a way to highlight the effects of the bill. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Next show, as we try and find more pens, is going to be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster. Enjoy your artichoke.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. Email Mike now at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!